What is happening, Failroaders? I'm Joshua Thomas, back with another video about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and this one is just speculating on where Midgar would appear on the world map. We've got some trailer footage right here. You can see my computer screen, and I put into Photoshop, like many other people have done, I composited some of the world map that we can see so far, and this is about as far north as it goes, and so we can assume that Midgar is somewhere up in here, but where exactly is it compared to what we can see? Like, here's Calm right here. I've got that map I can show you guys right there, and then we've got the Chocobo farm down here, and if we zoom out, there's the rest of the grasslands area. So the first thing I set out to do was try to figure out exactly where the party was coming from, and that's when I used the ending of the previous game, or at least intermission, where Chocobo Bill drops off the characters outside of Calm, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well surely this is, this road would lead straight up towards Midgar, right? Well, if we look here, we see that the party is right there. Oh man, that's such a good view of Calm right there. We can see it pretty well. It appears that the main entrance of Calm is maybe in this area, or maybe in this area, or maybe we just can't see it because of the cliffs right here. But this is the path that leads up to it, or the road that leads up to it. And then, if we look here, we see large Mako pipes behind the party, and then when Aerith turns to talk to the others, we see right here what appears to be a highway that is raised above the ground. And if we go back to our map and we use a little bit of filtering to help see the terrain a little bit better, we can see that there is an area right in here where there's a raised road. And then it appears that there is, and at first I thought, well, maybe the party's over here somewhere and they're looking down at Calm. But upon further investigation, it may appear that this area right here is where they're standing and they're looking in this direction, which would mean that if the road went straight over this way, let me zoom out just a little bit. Turn on the eastern continent. There's Junon right there. And if we just kept going in this direction, like Midgar would have been like over here somewhere. And there's also the other situation that Midgar is huge. It's like way bigger than Junon, and we'll get into that here in just a second. I'm gonna turn off Junon here for a minute. But anyway, so that was really all I was able to gather from the ending of intermission. So the next best thing, and I thought this was really interesting, was footage that we get from the Chocobo farm, but specifically from where this Rimnawave tower is. So if we go to, it starts talking about the Rimnawave towers, and then, oops, I went too far. They start showing aerial shots of different locations. Right there, another Rimnawave tower, another one, but then Chadley says this.
For someone to put them to good use. The more towers you activate around the world, the more my processing power will grow. As will the area
And blink and you'll miss it. But right here, we see Midgar in the background, over the horizon. It's right there. And I can zoom in on this. Oh, hey, let's zoom in. And I'll enlarge this here once I get it situated. And I'm also going to turn on some FX we've got here so that you can see it even better. We see here that Midgar is very, prominent in this one shot right here. It's almost as though Midgar is like built right next to Calm. I mean, here we go. We see the easternmost part of Calm is about right here, and the westernmost part of Calm ends about right here. And then we can see behind the bell tower in Calm is the Shinra HQ building from Midgar. And then we see the lights that are on the edge of Midgar. We see the Mako reactors. We see 1, 2, I think the third one is right there. 4, 5. So we can see from one side of Midgar to the other right here. We can also see some Gelnicas flying around here, so it's pretty cool. We also see these Black Hawk-like helicopters. And so I was like, maybe I can line up these landmarks and figure out just exactly where Midgar might be in relationship to Calm. Now, once again, this looks awfully close, and I was just like, man, if we, go back to one of the videos where they actually talk about, how long is it going to take to get from Midgar to Calm, Barrett's like, about a day's travel. But also look at how far in the distance Midgar appears to be. I mean, we can see, once again, 1, 2, probably a third one behind Barrett, 4, maybe 5th one right here. Like, they're already far away from Midgar, almost as far away as it looks to be right here. So I do believe this is a bit of an artistic rendition, but just for the sake of saying, what if this is actually to scale? How far away is it, and where is it located? Because the fact that they put Midgar right here behind Calm could give us an idea of where exactly it is on the world map. So let's go back to our world map in Photoshop. Now, this is just this. Ignore this blue line here for a second. This blue line is just a known distance, and we'll get into that here in a second. So what I've got here are these black lines that are added up from the Rim to Wave Tower. So this shot that we see right here, we can assume is coming from the viewpoint of the Rim to Wave Tower. We can see over here where Cloud and Party escape Calm and then travel down. And then we can also see some land over here. And if I move over here, you can also see other landmarks that are noticeable on the map as well. So we won't get too deep into those, but we can see buildings right here and a building right here. And that gives us an idea of the view angle that we have here in this shot. So based on all of these landmarks and judging where Calm was in relationship to the edges of the Mako reactors, that's how I came up with these black lines right here. And you'll see that they go way off the map. In fact, let me zoom out once again. We go way over here, and it's even further than this, because here's the thing. Back to this blue line right here. This blue line is a known distance. It's about 950 meters, and the reason we know this, I'll come back to this video, is because we see that Choco Bill's Ranch is their next destination. And we can see up here that the number of meters they are away is 944 meters. So that gives us a known distance, and that's what I marked in the blue lines on the map. Now, we don't exactly know how big Midgar is just from the game alone, but you can look in the FF7 Remake Material Ultimania, and you can find out that Midgar, according to the graphics in that book, is 5,000 meters wide, or in diameter, I should say. And so roughly 5,000 meters is this blue line right here. And you can see that this blue line goes way out of bounds of our viewpoint of Midgar that we see beyond Calm, which Calm is right here. So just to give you guys an idea, this right here, is how big Midgar would be in comparison to Calm. And I actually do think this is a pretty accurate representation, considering that Midgar is so huge. But in order for it to be like within the view range of these lines, it's like way over here. It's not even on this graphic that I have here. So let me zoom out even further. We would have to be, oh, why isn't it not showing us now? We would have to be like way out here just for those lines to go to the edge of Midgar. And to give you guys another representation, let me show you guys once again Junon. You know, Midgar is a lot bigger than Junon, even though Junon is a huge place. Midgar is still the largest city, and if we bring it over here, I think this is a really interesting look at it. We see that Junon is pretty much smaller than, you know, a single sector of Midgar, and I think that that's pretty accurate, considering that if we zoom in over here, we can see that Junon is a few city blocks. I mean, keep in mind that each of these rows right here is a city block, and it's, you know, several layers deep, but still, that's not big compared to Midgar itself. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in order for this to be accurate to scale, at least the scales that we have access to, this island would have to be pretty huge. So it does make me think that maybe Midgar is just kind of like up here somewhere, and that they're just taking a little bit of artistic liberties by showing us where Midgar is in relationship to Calm. So this shot right here, I'll zoom back in again for y'all. I think that they've definitely taken some artistic liberties in showing us Midgar beyond Calm. So let me know what you guys think. If you're in agreement with me that this is more like just, you know, maybe just an outline of the skybox, and they just wanted to put this here to show us where Midgar was, or if you're like, hey Josh, you know, that information you gave us, yeah, I do think Midgar looks this big, even if it's that far away from Calm, even though it looks about the same. If we come over here and you see the party's walking away and they still have like a day's walk to get to Calm, and Midgar already looks this small. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out more Final Fantasy VII content on the FailroadExpress. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.